Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we are spotlighting a game called Telltale Texas Hold'em. Now the reason I'm spotlighting it is because I honestly, without actually bothering to do any research, thought it was the sequel to Poker Night 2, a relatively new poker game that came out made by Telltale. But actually, it's not the sequel. In a lot of ways, in pretty much every way, Telltale Texas Hold'em is the prequel to Poker Night at the Inventory, which has a sequel called Poker Night 2. So we have three games here, none of which are following the same name, but it's all the same concepts. It's a Texas Hold'em here tournament that with four characters who will on occasion tell stories as we're playing poker. Now if you'll notice that there are bars on the left and right, there's no fixing that. This is an old game running in a window that is about a quarter of a screen for 1080p. So resolution and graphics are not going to look great, but we are going to be able to compare the very first, which I assume is the very first Telltale poker game, with what I assume now is the latest one, which would be Poker Night 2. I hope there's a Poker Night 3. Not playing it in full screen because it would not record, but don't worry, that's not changing anything for you. That's not lowering or raising the resolution any. Let's get into the game. So we'll start a new game and see what this early 2000s Texas Hold'em poker game. Texas Hold'em was very popular in the early 2000s. Let's see what this one's all about.
$1 and $200 blinds.
Each hand, one player will act as the dealer. The first player to the left of the deal is required to make opening bets called the small blind and the big blind. That's Texas Hold'em. So after the blinds each posted have been posted, each player is dealt two cards face down. They're called the hole cards and are displayed in the lower right corner of the screen.
I'm folding.
Think I'll fold.
So instead of being video game characters, let's go ahead and turn off the tutorial. If you want to learn how to play Texas Hold'em, go watch Poker Night at the Inventory Spotlight, since that's probably a little bit better. Yeah.
$1 and $200 blinds.
So instead of having video game characters, this time it
My
is
chips are whispering.
originally just four stereotypes of people. An old lady, a guy who's literally, his name is Dude Bro, Boys Dude Bro, a bald man and an elderly bald man. We'll just call
Nope.
here. They
I'll check.
this game really feels like it was
Mom
programmed.
always taught me there's no shame in checking.
I check.
I can definitely see there's probably going to be some annoying checks, much like Poker Night at the Inventory, but they eventually fixed it in Poker Night 2. And I'd love to see the improvements they could make in Poker Night 3 if it ever comes out. These
Right.
players
check.
will
Yeah,
talk
check.
to each other a little bit. I don't know if they're going to full-on story mode like Poker Night at the Inventory and Poker Night 2, which is very much heavily on people telling stories.
Oh, great check,
you can
dude.
definitely tell the interface is very old.
Are you ready for
This is-
this? I'm all in.
Whoa. Yeah. All
This is-
in, baby.
A
Let's
pretty
see.
good
Fold.
pretty good graphics for its time, and there's hundreds,
Oh,
if
don't
not
fall now,
thousands,
you
of poker
pansy.
games that came before this that were 2D. So taking it into the realm of 3D, having voice were two things that were uh, super cool stuff to have in games
The
in the
player
early
has 3 of a
2000s.
kind. Boris has a straight. Boris wins the pot.
That's right, in your
Oops,
face.
I lost the tournament.
The player has been eliminated.
That'll
So-
teach you to play against a pro like myself.
The graphics aren't great. The
$1 and $200 blinds.
I bet the
I'll
guy
play.
who is announcing is the original programmer, and he
folding.
just got like 4 friends to voice it. I don't know that, but it seems like it. Telltale Games was a pretty small company until they got The Walking Dead license to make a game based on that. And after that happened,
I shall call.
they pretty much exploded.
All right, I'll check.
And they're very soon going to be releasing
I'll check
a
for now.
Minecraft
Check.
story mode, a
I'll
game
bet.
called Minecraft Story Mode, which will be pretty popular, I would venture to guess. They're also doing Game of Thrones.
My most
and,
revered poker coach, Artie
uh,
Flopshark, once said,
several
"No use
other
crying over
licenses.
flopped milk."
Yeah, your revered poker coach has got some issues with his brain. All right?
I'm pretty
If
sure
Mama were
Artie
here, she'd tell me to
Flopshark
fold it
is
up.
referenced
Yeah,
in
too
Poker
bad she
Night
croaked,
at the
huh?
inventory every now and then.
Ted decides to check.
You can definitely tell that the angles that they've chosen are not the right angles, that we are at a strange position which we can't see the flop actually on the table. I'm not sure the coins ever actually the chips ever actually represent
What's
the
the
number
matter?
of chips.
Rattlesnake got you by the boo-boo?
The number of chips on the table.
All right, I'll bet.
This is so early 2000s to have typical people in games like this. That would be completely unacceptable in 2015 because we just don't believe these type of peoples exist. We really don't. We hope.
Hey, dude.
The player has a flush. Ted has 2 pair. The player wins the pot.
So,
This
Grandma,
is the very
you ever kill a man?
What makes you ask, dear?
Well, Harry told me that you kill all your husbands.
Shut up, Ted.
So this is funny. He asked the same question to him, and now he asks it to her. Here's the beginning of one problem they still haven't fixed, even in Poker Night 2. This click anywhere to deal the next hand thought, instead of it just automatically dealing the next hand. That
Think I'll fold.
it's not like there are ever any timers in this game. This is supposed to be a real slow-paced, single, actual human player experience, not a fast-paced tournament of actual poker players. I can tell that,
Call.
or at least I heavily suspect
I'm
these
calling.
are really bad poker AIs
Check.
going on, as far as whether they call,
I'm
fold,
gonna check
raise.
because I'm trying to lure you.
Check.
Having no relation to any of these characters, they have never appeared in any other games that I know of. I don't have any real
Sure,
motivation
I'll see more.
to listen to them or play with them.
Check.
But it does.
Okay, I'll check.
But if it was play this 3D one with voice, or play a poker that literally had 2D graphics, that real pixelated, which I did many years ago.
Check.
Play
Okay,
poker
whatever.
games like that.
I'll check too.
I would definitely want to play this.
Yeah, okay, I'll bet.
Why did I
But-
stay in so long? What am I doing?
There's not a lot you can really say.
Oh, man.
They react when
Well,
you
I'm
go
not gonna
all
throw
in.
good money after bad.
Dude, I would.
There's
better
really
not
not
have
a lot
anything
you
good.
can say
I'll
about this
call.
game. It has no achievements, it has no
The
challenges,
player has
it
a
has
pair.
no
Boris has a
unlocks.
pair. Boris wins the pot.
Yeah, marinate on that for a while.
It has no real motivation to play it in 2015.
What do you do for a living, Boris?
That's none of your concern.
Unless you somehow
Root beer?
got
I'm in the root
this
beer business.
for free and didn't want to spend the money for a better poker game. But yeah, so with this spotlight, I'd say this is definitely a blast from the past. It's still playable. It is totally still playable if you just love poker, but you can do so much better these days. And I will eventually get
Interesting.
around to
I'll
getting
call.
a non-Telltale poker
Do I look
game
like a
that
sissy
is
girl to you?
more
Do I look
focused
like a sissy
on-
girl? I'll call.
More
Yeah,
focused on the
cool.
actual poker and not so much
The
focused on the
hands I've been
characters
getting
and the talk.
remind me of my ex-husbands.
But
Everyone's a loser.
in the meantime, I have a lot of other games that need to cover.
How about a small
I have
wager
lots of
to
other
add some
series that are
intrigue
out.
to the
Click
game?
on my name, Rydo.
I'll call.
That'll get you to my main YouTube page. On there is a playlist tab. I have
Check.
a playlist for every game I
I'll check.
have a series
Anyone got a
of.
problem with that?
Unless
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
There's also a Spotlights playlist for
Check.
games I only did one or
Okay,
two
I'll
episodes
check.
for.
The player has a pair. Harry has a pair. Boris has a pair.
What?
So,
Boris wins the pot.
yeah,
No,
there's
well,
really nothing
gambling
more that can be
does
said
pay.
about
The
this
player
game.
has been eliminated.
I got
Bye.
this game because I bought the Telltale collection, which is everything owned by Telltale, and so I will be covering everything in that collection eventually, which is a lot of games. And so this is just another notch under my belt with the Texas Hold'em.
Grandma, just how
If you
rich
click
are
no
you?
here, you
Rich
can watch
enough to
them.
buy you, honey.
Call.
They ask little questions, but they don't go
Yeah,
into
right.
full-on
I'll
story
follow.
mode, which is fine.
I'm raising.
I shall call.
But that's pretty much this
All right. I'll call.
this episode. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. You'll see a bunch of more series. I don't think we'll get to poker in a while, but we'll eventually get back to a different poker game. If I end all my episodes the same way, I ask you to like this video, I ask you to share it with your friends, I ask you to subscribe, comment down below if you want to. Let me know if you have great memories of playing this game. This one really flew under the radar for me. I never have heard of Telltale Texas Hold'em, but I certainly played lots of old DOS-based Texas Hold'em games and earlier versions. And watch every second of my videos because that helps me with YouTube. Also, this is my only job. This is the only thing I do, so if you could be so kind, click on my name, Rydo, to get back to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. It would be really nice if you clicked and made a donation there. Also, for your help, I am on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Google+, and you can even friend me on Steam and Battle.net. And follow me on all of those. That helps me. It also helps you see when I have new episodes out. I release new episodes every Monday through Friday. Lots and lots of episodes. So please watch them. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.